Keep your philosophy ready too, ready to understand heaven and earth. Nothing earthly succeeds by ignoring heaven. Nothing heavenly by ignoring earth. In this video, I would like to examine Book 3 of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Book 3 is once again filled with tons of wisdom and insights, but I would like to talk about the following idea: living according to nature. Marcus Aurelius brings up this topic throughout Meditations, including the previous books I covered in this channel. But I feel that he hits on this idea quite a bit in Book 3, that it is worth a discussion. So, to set us up for this discussion, let's actually go back for a second and take a quick look at a quote from Book 2. Remembering always what the world nature is, and what my own nature is, and how the one stands in respect to the other. So small a fraction of so vast a whole. Bear in mind that no man can hinder you from conforming each word and deed to that nature of which you are a part. So what exactly does Marcus Aurelius mean by nature? I think the idea of nature has two sides to it, the external and internal. The external form is what we normally think of when we hear the word nature. The trees, the mountains, the rivers, the ocean, but also includes the universe and cosmos we are part of, as well as some form of higher being, which for some of us is God. So let's start with that view of nature. And other things. If you look at them in isolation, there's nothing beautiful about them. And yet by supplementing nature, they enrich it and draw us in. Marcus Aurelius claims that seemingly mundane things that you see every day can appear much more beautiful, interesting, and delightful once you understand how they are connected and a part of nature. He brings up as examples a loaf of bread and how it cracks on the top while baking in the oven, how ripe figs burst, and how amazing olives look when they are ready to drop. Just those images by itself may not spark any inspiration in you, but once you start to consider all the rain and wind the figs and olives had to go through, all the water and sun they need in order to grow, you can begin to see the beauty behind them. Marcus Aurelius believed that the people who were capable of appreciating these small details in life were the type of people who handle their tasks and duties with the right kind of energy and spirit while adhering to proper reasoning. They were the kind of people to turn away from all distractions to keep their spirit pure and upright. He then expands further on this idea by saying, if you hold steadily to this, staying for nothing and shrinking from nothing, only seeking in each passing action a conformity with nature, and in each word and utterance a fearless truthfulness, then shall the good life be yours. He believed that every one of us should strive to live like this, not simply because it looked good or someone told him to. It's because he believed that is how nature intended for us to live. The universe operates in a certain manner, and he believed that this is how everyone should act in order to be part of that universe. I truly believe that is what he means by conformity to nature. He does not forget the brotherhood of all rational beings, nor that a concern for every man is proper to humanity. And he knows that it is not the world's opinions he should, but only those of men whose lives confessedly accord to nature. In this statement here, the word nature has a double meaning. You could safely interpret the statement with the external definition of nature I already presented, but I believe he is also referring to a more internal definition, one's innate nature. Every individual has a unique set of characteristics and inclination towards certain activities and interests, and that is in large part due to their innate nature. Digging even deeper, I would say their moral principles are also a significant part of their nature. Now, with that internal form of nature in mind, this quote can be seen under a slightly different light. Marcus Aurelius is quite possibly prompting us to only value the opinions of those who live in conformity to the universe and some higher power by working on their daily tasks with great vigor and spirit. However, the line can also be understood as that one should only value the opinions and words of those who live according to their principles. In other words, only listen to those who practice what they preach. Your ability to control your thoughts, treat it with respect. It's all that protects your mind from false perceptions, false to your nature, and that of all rational beings. This line is a clearer example of the internal form of nature, as it is translated as your nature. Here, Marcus Aurelius is telling us we must protect our mind from toxic thoughts and misleading perceptions in order to preserve our true nature, our true moral principles. In order for us to protect our true nature, we must be careful what kind of influences we have around us, as well as be aware of false perceptions that may have entered us without us being aware of it. Think about the type of people you spend time with. Think about the kind of information you consume on a regular basis. These all affect us and can blind us from finding our true selves. But in order for us to guard our nature, we must first discover what our true nature is, and this is part of self-mastery that he mentions over and over in meditations. And if the others don't acknowledge it, this life lived with simplicity, humility, cheerfulness, he doesn't resent them for it, and isn't deterred from following the road where it leads to the end of life. An end to be approached in purity and serenity and acceptance and peaceful unity with what must be. When we find our true nature and live in perfect harmony with it, there will surely be some who question our way of life or even despise it. But when we live absolutely true to our nature and our true purpose, we shall have no need to resent those who question us. Not only that, if you know you are living your life and not someone else's life, you can approach the end with a complete sense of tranquility and peace. Of course, finding your true nature can be a struggle for some of us, but overcoming that obstacle will make your ultimate journey of life worth living. The realization that you can live your own life according to your own principles is a very liberating and empowering concept, but it also comes with an immense sense of responsibility as well, because you are truly in charge. If you live according to someone else's principles and someone else's definition of success, your accomplishments might be less meaningful, but your failures will not damage you as much. On the contrary, living according to your nature will enable you to feel a great sense of satisfaction with your own accomplishments that you never felt before. But every mistake and failure will be yours. You have to take ownership of both your success and failures. But wouldn't you rather make mistakes living your life rather than winning at living someone else's life? Society might tell you that going to college is the road to success. But if something inside you tells you that you should take another path in life, will you be truly fulfilled at graduation? Society might tell you that having a big house, a nice car, and a loaded bank account is the road to happiness. But if that doesn't resonate with your true nature, will any of that mean anything to you? So, what is your true nature? What are your life principles? Figure them out, and nature will lead you down your path. Thank you for watching.